इस वीडियो में हम डिस्कस करेंगे सेकेंड type of pollination, that is cross pollination. So before going to cross pollination, so these are the some contrivances or devices to ensure self pollination. So flowers are bisexual and both sexes mature at the same time. In second contrivance is in some cases flowers are bisexual and clistogamous. These are the some chances to ensure to enhance the possibility of self pollination. And this is the second type of pollination is called cross pollination. It is the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma of genetically different flowers. It is also called genogamy. The term allogamy includes both zetnogamy and genogamy. Cross pollination performed with the help of some external agencies, and these external agencies are two types. Some external agencies are called abiotic agents and some of them are called biotic agents. So initially we will discuss agents for cross pollination. They are already हम सबको पता है abiotic and abiotic. First one is abiotic agents. So abiotic agents are again two types, wind and water. The first one is anemophily. If cross pollination occurs through wind, then the cross pollination is said to be anemophily. Example, maize and coconut. And these are the characteristics of anemophilous flowers. Some important characters of wind pollinated flowers. And first one is flowers are small and inconspicuous. Non-essential parts are either absent or reduced, and the flowers are colorless, odorless and nectarless. In some cases like urtica, the anthers burst suddenly to throw the pollen grains, and this mechanism is called gunpowder mechanism. And in this type, in these flowers, the pollen grains are dry, smooth, non-sticky and unwettable, and stigma is hairy and feathery. Pollen grains are produced in very large number. These are the some important characteristic feature of anemophily. And second one is hydrophily. If the cross pollination occurs through wind, then it is called hydrophily. It is the transfer of the pollen grains from anther to stigma through water. It is called hydrophily, and hydrophily again is of two types, epihydrophily and hypohydrophily. The first one is epihydrophily. It is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma through the surface water. Example, Vallisneria. Vallisneria is a submerged dioecious freshwater aquatic plant. So it is aquatic plant. The male plants produce a large number of male flowers. They float at surface water. Eventually they reach the stigma of pistil, and pollen grains are covered by mucilage. After pollination, the female flowers is pulled inside water. Second one is called hypohydrophily. It is the transfer of pollen grains from the anther to the stigma through below the surface water. Example, Zostera and Ceratophylla. In Zostera, Zostera is also called seagrass. It is marine and useful. The pollen grains are long, ribbon-like and without exine. They have the same specific gravity as that of water. So therefore, pollen grains float below the surface water. The stigmas are also long. And next agents are, second type of external agents are biotic agents. The common biotic agents are insects, birds, bats and snails. Some primates, example lemurs, arboreal rodents and reptiles like gecko lizard and garden lizards have also been found to accomplish pollination. Bees and butterflies pollinate the maximum number of flowering plants, and the common two families are Asteraceae and Lamiaceae families. And different accordingly, so depending on the type of animal, and zoophily is again different types. The first one is entomophily. If cross pollination occurs through insects, then cross pollination is called entomophily. It is the common among the biotic agents. Bees do pollination in nearly 80% of the flowers. Bees have pollen baskets for collecting pollens. And some important characteristics of entomophilous flowers. These are the some important characteristics. They are brightly colored. Most flowers have landing platform, and some flowers have structural peculiarities to get pollinated by particular type of insects. Example, opening of bilabiate flowers of snapdragon. It is also called dog flower by particular weight by the pollinator. In many cases, special markings occur on the petals for guiding the insect to nectar glands. And these nectar glands are also called honey or nectar guides. And the flowers produce an odor which may be pleasant in case of jasmine, or it may be foul in case of astrolobe. Foul odor attracts flies and beetles. Odor of Rafflesia attracts carrion flies. It is also called fly trap mechanism. Nectar is secreted for feeding the visiting insects. Edible pollen grains produced by Rosa sinensis and clematis. Pollen grains are spiny, heavy, and surrounded by a yellow, oily, sticky substance called pollen kit. And stigma is sticky. And some flowers provide safe place to insects for laying eggs. Example, yucca, Amorphophallus, and the tallest flower belongs to Amorphophallus, that is 6 feet long. These are the some important characteristic features of Entomophilous flowers. Here one more important point is co-evolution of flower and its pollinator species. Co-evolution is the evolution in two species that interact extensively with one another so that each act as a major force of natural selection on the other. The constant mutual feedback modifications between the two species is known as coevolution. And some of the examples for coevolution. This is the example number 1. The mutual dependence between fig and its pollinating wasp, that is called Blastophaga. The wasp helps in pollination of pollen grains from the fig, and it receives the place for laying its eggs. And second example is Pronuba yuccacella. It is a moth which deposits eggs in the ovary of yucca flower, and simultaneously it collects pollens and deposits the same in the stigma to affect the pollination. And third example is in orchids like Ophrys, the shape, color, and markings and odor of the flower is like that female moth colpa. The Ophrys employs sexual deceit to get pollination done by the colpa. The male moth matures earlier than female. It mistakes the Ophrys flower for female moth and tries to copulate, and this is called pseudocopulation. In this attempt, it pollinates the flowers. And some of the floral rivers. Flowers produce rivers to the pollinating agents. So these are the floral rivers. To provide nectar is edible pollen grains, a place to lay down eggs. And next one is ornithophyly. If cross pollination occurs through birds, is called ornithophyly. Only a few types of birds are specialized for this. The two common types of birds are sunbirds and hummingbirds. And next one is chiropterophily. If cross pollination occurs through bats, is called chiropterophily. And next, malcophily. If cross pollination occurs through snails, is called malcophily. And these are the some advantages for cross pollination. A cross pollination introduces genetic recombinations and variations. It increases the adaptability of the offsprings. It makes the organism better fitted in the struggle for existence, and plants are more resistant to diseases.